Welcome to day 1720 of What's You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting primarily the business journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. 2017, following my divorce, I had the opportunity to move from nearly 4 decades of offline experience and corporate experience simultaneously to the online world. I got divorced and I was like, oh, I'm old enough to retire, but I'm really not ready to retire yet. What am I going to do? So I'd always been curious about the internet, so I hopped on and started to explore, and like so many things in life, got pulled down a bunch of different rabbit holes. I think the internet is an incredible source of information and source of connecting with other people and connecting with your audience and finding your people. But it's also got the ability to suck us into these vacuums and these vortexes of rabbit holes that lead us in directions that divert our attention and take us in directions we may want to explore, but we may not want to explore either, because they take us off what it is that we're trying to accomplish, and they divert our attention and our energy, etc. And I fell for that for about 2 years before I was stopped myself and said, whoa, hold the phone, stop the insanity. I'm learning the hard way that I'm not getting the things I want to get done, and I'm not getting the results I want because I'm letting things distract me and pull me in different directions that aren't in alignment around the trajectory of what I really want to do and accomplish. And so last couple of years I've been pretty good at saying no to, or just piling up in different categories, different things I'm curious about, but that I don't need to know about right now. So our idiom for supersize your business, to kind of coincide with the annual challenge, the Be 365-day challenge, today and for about 20 days or maybe more, maybe the whole month of October, we're going to cover different paradoxes, because like idioms, I am fascinated by paradoxes. A paradox is something that seems like when you first hear it, it doesn't make sense and it's not true and it's contradictory and impossible, yet as you think about it, you're like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely true. And then you start asking yourself, is this true for me? And you realize, I can think of all these examples where this has been absolutely true for me. And today's paradox, I call it the learning paradox, is no exception. It basically says that the more we learn, the more I learn, the more you learn, the more we realize how much we don't know. You know, it's the whole, there's that whole grid thing where it's, this is the unknown, these are the things we know, these are the things we don't know, and these are the things that we don't even know that we don't know. There's a vast universe out there, and the internet has really brought that home for me and for a lot of people, in that anything we can imagine that we want to know more about, we can go and at the tip of our fingers or walk to the library, we can get on the internet and we can get access to information all around the world, right? And things that we might never have even had access to because the information wasn't available, and now it's available at our fingertips, which is both a curse and a blessing. A blessing in that we can learn and figure out and become and do and have anything we want, but we can also get very distracted and very diverted because there is so much information out there. And how do we filter through all of the information? One of my friends, Abel Beckford, talks about that the majority of nonfiction books is filler and material and fluff, and that you can really read books quickly because if you just pick out and read for the answers to the questions that you have before you start reading the book. She's phenomenal, by the way. I highly recommend that if you want to become a better leader, a better reader, look her up, Abel Beckford, and take some of her masterminding courses and challenges. She does a great job summarizing and teaching us how to be better leaders by being better readers. And I thoroughly believe the saying that leaders are readers, and that we need to go about learning more about the things we need to know to be better human beings. And better human beings are better leaders. We have a lot of leaders in our lives and in our world that really are in a position of leadership, but they have zero leadership skills. They're not leading anyone. They're just out for themselves. And that is not a leader. You might be in a position of power, but that doesn't mean that you're a leader. Watch any dystopia or dysfunctional dystopia type movie or show, and you will see. I think of things like The Walking Dead. Look at all the the evil people that ended up being in positions of power, and people followed them because they were looking for a leader, but they sure were not really good leaders. And look at, you know, any of these, what are some of the series and movies that, I think Hunger Games, wow, and there's a whole bunch of those out there. So we can always find examples, and there's actually examples in our real world right now if we want to look for them. So we talked about School of Hard Knocks today as our idiom, and that there's lessons that we have to learn and things we have to learn the hard way. And the truth is, nobody can live our lives and create our lives for us. It's up to each and every one of us to create the life that we want. And some of the lessons that we need to learn along the way are from the School of Hard Knocks, meaning we need to experience things for ourselves. We need to do them ourselves. People can, you know, lead the way for us. They can coach us. They can tell us step by step what to do, but we still each have to take those steps and determine what works for us and what doesn't. Because what works for one person and what works for 1,000 people might not work for you. It might not work for me. And so we have to figure out what works for us. That's it. It is Sunday in my neck of the woods. I think it's Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all my Canadian friends. We have to wait till November 24th for the USA Thanksgiving, but I'll be traveling during that time, so we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I haven't planned my traveling yet. So I have to figure out how am I going to do my content, how am I going to continue to show up while traveling. I always figure it out. Sometimes I'm in a weight room in a hotel or something, or in a quiet corner that I find, but other times I find some beautiful places to actually do my videos when I'm traveling. I love doing that. If it's not too loud. I was at the ocean and it was way too loud to do any recording. So lessons learned at the School of Hard Knocks, the hard way. Got to figure some things out for ourselves. All right, if I can help you anyway, ask. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow. Have a fabulous day.